Rejection wound, it's this deep emotional pain that we carry when we feel unwanted, when we feel unloved or not good enough. And that wound often begins in childhood, and it creates this fear of being abandoned, excluded, or not accepted. And that wound, it quietly shapes how we view ourselves, how we view our relationships, and how we view our worth. And the wound is not just one moment when someone made you feel unwanted, but it's about this pattern that we form when these moments add up all over time. And that pain begins to tell us a story about who we are. And that story starts to say that you're not good enough, or that we have to perform, or uh, to please others, or to stay quiet just to be accepted. And because that wound runs so deep, we don't we don't always realize how much it shapes our choices. And our choices sometimes may look like chasing people who can't give us what we need, or overworking to feel worthy, or struggling with confidence when we face rejection. And so for me, the rejection wound didn't just come from one moment. Okay, so for me, mine's stemmed from years of the emotional absence with my mom. She was physically present in the home, but she was emotionally unavailable. And as a child, I didn't fully I didn't fully understand why I felt invisible or unheard, or like I had to, tiptoe around my feelings. And, over time, over the years, that silence, it started to write a story for me in my mind. And it started writing that I wasn't important, and that my emotions were too much, and that, love had to be earned through me trying to be perfect and people pleasing or performance. And guess what? That wound followed me all the way into adulthood. And I found myself being drawn to relationships where I had to prove my worth. There was also where I constantly was trying to be chosen. I overworked. I overengaged. I stayed quiet. Even when I was hurting, I wouldn't express how I was feeling. And it was just to avoid being called that I'm too much or pushed away. And so that rejection wasn't just painful, like it felt like a confirmation of who I already believed, or what I already believed about myself deep down inside. And so it wasn't until I started healing that, I realized that I was living through this lens of rejection. And until I challenged the lies, it taught me I couldn't fully step into the woman that God created me to be. And so, it took years to be able to go on this healing journey and fully understand, you know, and process the way that it was showing up. And I had to rewrite that story so that I can make better choices, and that I can tell myself that's not my story. This is my story. And she is still becoming her. And so, yeah,